Hello everyone, this is Maxwell here. Just checking in with you. I'm going to give you some simple tips on how to just keep your body loose and nice and flexible. I'm going to start off with just a couple stretches here. A nice easy stretch here. Just on your belly, elbows stacked underneath the shoulders. I'm going to focus here on pushing my hands and elbows down and through the ground and pulling them backwards as I pull my chest forward. Now, I'm trying to squeeze my butt and push my hips into the ground. I should feel a nice stretch along my abs. If you're feeling a little pinch in your back, maybe focus not so much on extending your back, but instead pulling yourself forward. Not all movements are for all people, so like I said, if you're feeling this in your lower back, you're feeling a twinge or something, maybe try something like child's pose or just on your back, pulling your knees into your chest. So a nice easy stretch here. Don't have to hold everything too long. We're going for about 30 seconds to 90 seconds. I just had a quick run and just trying to make my body loose afterwards. Last thing we want with all this being sedentary is to end up all cramped up and tight at the end of all of this, because we don't know how long it's going to last. So trying to stay loose, very important. All right, I think it's enough right here. Now I'm going to switch on to my back, and I'm just going to pull a single leg up into the chest. Now, a couple ways we can do this. I can pull this leg straight, which I'm going to try pulling it straight into my chest. I'm going to add a little bit of ankle circles here, just trying to create some mobility in my body. A little clockwise, a little counterclockwise. With my off leg, I'm trying to press it down and through the ground. I'm trying to create a split hip as much as I can here. I can also pull this knee to the outside of the rib cage. Sometimes that makes a little bit more room. You feel a deeper stretch. Trying to pull this elbow or this knee more in towards the armpit area. I can use a lot of the strength of my upper body to help me pull this leg in really tight, as I'm using the strength of the off leg to push it down. This stretch is a really good setup for a twist, which is where we're going next. So I'm going to take my right hand on this left knee. I'm going to pull it across the body into a twist. In a twist, we can add the head and neck. We can always look opposite the knee. So my knee's off to the right. I'm looking off to the left now. Get a nice little chest and bicep shoulder opener here. If I can really try to pull the back of my shoulder down towards the ground. If I happen to be a little bit more mobile, you can always move your hands into cactus arms. Now, that's a little bit too much of a stretch for me right now, so I'm going to keep my arm in a T-shaped position. I'm using this offhand right here to adding pressure onto this left leg, just pulling it down. Feel a nice stretch in my glute and my mid and lower back. Trying to use my breath as much as I can. These deep exhales, you can really tell a difference. That body likes to open up and relax. You can kind of move deeper into that stretch. All right, let's try to get that next side. But before I do so, I'm going to pull both these knees into my chest. I'm going to rock from side to side, very gentle. If rocking doesn't feel good to you, by all means, do not do it. This is just to kind of reset my lower back. Sometimes those twists can be a little harsh. All right, left leg going down into the ground, nice and strong. Using my arms to pull that right knee straight into my chest. I'm going to add those ankle circles like I did on the other side. And maybe the other direction now. Good opportunity here to also focus on a long back of the neck. Want the back of the neck nice and long, so some of us, that puts our chin into our chest a little bit. We're going to scoot the back top part of the head out a little bit so we don't dump into that neck. I'm going to now take that opportunity to move to the outside of the rib cage, trying to pull that knee into my armpit now. I'm splitting those hips as much as I can, setting up for that twist. Remembering to deep breathe. All right, left hand on that right knee. We're gonna pull it across the body into the twist. Since the knee is on the left side now, I am looking at my right hand. Again, if you have nice mobile shoulders, you can move into those cactus arms. But me and my shoulders are a little too tight, so I'm just gonna focus on this T right now, T-shaped with my arms. And I'm gonna use this offhand, create a little bit of pressure on that knee. I can get a deeper glute stretch, move a little bit into my twist. Pull both those knees back into chest, reset that lower back. And we're gonna go into one more stretch. It's a combo stretch, so it's gonna take a little bit, but it's a type of pigeon, okay? Different modalities of movement have different names for it, so you may have seen it before, but basically, I'm gonna move into my pigeon stretch right here, and I'm gonna have a nice 90 degrees back here with my other leg. So my hips are split, but for being a little bit less mobile than some, you can get into it. Almost everybody can get into it. And I can do my forward fold into my kind of pigeon stance. Still getting that external rotation on the hip. And somebody like me can actually get my forearms on the ground. So you don't have to get your forearms on the ground. You can actually be upright and you can kind of pull your chest up and forward. You can get two kind of stretches here. We can go straight over the shin, which is the one that I prefer. Or you can go over the knee a little bit. I personally don't get that much going over the knee. I take this opportunity with this stance and I can go right over the shin, get the hamstring stretch. I can feel it in the glutes. Getting that good external rotation, so I feel it in that piriformis too. But since I'm here, like I said, a little combo stretch, we're actually going to get the quads too. So if I just go from my little forward fold, I can just walk my hands backwards and I can work the opposite leg, the quad, on the top of the front leg. And I know you don't have the best viewpoint, but you'll see both legs in just a second when I do the other side. Basically, the hip and the knee joint are just at 90 degrees. So it's a pretty comfortable position to be sitting at. If you can tuck the toe underneath, you can get a nice stretch in that shin, top of the foot. But you don't have to. Not all of us are that mobile. So you can just lay the foot flat out to the side. And in this stretch, it doesn't necessarily benefit you to go down to your forearms or go down to your back, although some of you can. It's more about squeezing this left hip and I'm pushing that knee down and through the ground. I should feel a nice stretch in this quad. All right, give you a better viewpoint now. Switching over to this other side. So just in this split hip stance, 90 degrees. Turn a little bit so I get both my knees on my mat. And this is my harder side. You can probably already tell it's hard for me to sit here. This hip is a little bit tighter than the other side, but this is what I was talking about. So I can forward fold here and I can get both my elbows on the ground, but like I said, it's not necessary if you're not mobile enough to do that or it doesn't feel good. You can put your hands, you can be upright, and I can just pull my chest over my shin. And actually for me on this side, since that hip's a little tighter, I actually feel quite a bit better stretch just using the strength of my arms to pull my chest forward, get a better stretch in that hip. And I feel a pretty good stretch in this hamstring here. probably from that run getting a little tight. If you feel any knee discomfort here, I would highly suggest trying to pull this toe towards the shin. You get this muscle to flex. Sometimes that can help protect the knee joint. But then again, if you're still feeling discomfort there, this may not be the stretch for you. On your back, maybe in a figure 4, probably a better place to be. All right, that's good for there. And then our last little part of this, just gonna lean back, focusing on this leg, trying to get this quad stretch. Like I said, I'm pressing that knee down and through the ground, squeezing this hip, pushing it up into the air. Some of you will be mobile enough to drop down to your elbows or your back. And I do some days too. Today I'm a little tighter. So I'm just gonna focus here on the actual stretch instead of trying to moving deeper into the stretch, just actually focusing on my breathing. Actually, that quad right now is kind of jumping around, circulating. Anyways, hope you enjoyed stretching with me. I miss all of you. You guys have a great day.